Welcome, everybody, to the Beers and Beans podcast. I'm Gabe.
And I'm Woodzy.
How you doing, Woodzy?
I'm doing good, Gabe.
Hell yeah. I'm doing great, dude. I'm doing great. So the Beers and Beans podcast, we decided to start. We are two content creators who stream a lot on Twitch and make content for YouTube. We wanted to do something outside of all that just for ourselves, and this podcast is that. Yeah, the podcast will go up on YouTube, and maybe it'll be live stream on Twitch, but this is our baby. The Beers and Beans podcast was made because Woodzy over here is on the other side of the world from me, and when it's time for beers for him, it's time for coffee for me. And we're going to switch off on and off whenever we can. Woodzy, why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself and kind of where you started?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for that, Gabe. So, hi guys. As I said, I'm Woodzy. I'm 24 and I'm from the UK, but I actually live in Spain in mainland Europe. So, yeah, I'm about 9 hours ahead of Gabe. And yeah, that's our friendship. You know, like Gabe said, we're on at the time or different times completely, and that's just sort of how we interact. And sometimes it's morning for me, sometimes it's evening, and Gabe's always there. That's you can count on. But for me, so I started streaming about in May 2019, so that would be a year and almost a half ago, because this is in September 2020 we're recording this. So for me, I moved into content creation because I just wanted to experiment a little bit in life. I was 21 years old. I was in an office job in London, and people there I was working with were about 25, 26, 27, and they'd all been traveling and everything, and they'd experienced all these things in life. And I was like, that never was really something that I really wanted to do. I kind of, when I was younger, I tried content creation a little bit back in 2015, but I hadn't really given it like a full go as such because I was always sidetracked by school. And I just kind of wanted to take a year or two to just devote my life as such to content creation. And since I've done that, I've kind of fallen in love with it as I thought I would, and enjoyed it immensely. Hence putting in over 250 hours some months in streams. I'm sure Gabe can vouch for those numbers on his own channel as well that he's done. And just when you love something that much, it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, that's sort of how I'm doing at the moment. And what really got me into streaming, even though I don't play it anymore, it was Fortnite. As much as it's a little guilty pleasure of mine. It's what spurred me into the streaming world. I was playing it a lot. It was pretty good, and people wanted to play or watch. So then I just started streaming and doing it, and here we are. Now I'm a variety streamer, signed to the Grid team, where I stream with Gabe and various other content creators, and yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, Fortnite brought pretty much everybody to the community. So me and Woodzy actually met because I used to stream a lot of Fortnite, and a competition company who had their own bracket system, their own earnings and everything, reached out to sponsor me for Fortnite content. And they actually wanted to try a new game, TFT, when it came out and it was popular. And so they gave me the money to do a TFT tournament and about 8.5 hours to set it up. And so I went into the TFT category to try and find streamers to join, and that's actually where I met Woodzy. I just asked him, like, hey, do you want to play a TFT tourney? Please?
Yeah, I saw the money, and I was like, damn, baby, I'm in. Count me in.
and that's honestly how this friendship started. And I joined the Grid team, and I saw that the Grid team had amazing potential. Woodzy actually asked me if I was going to apply when it started, and we got on from there, and then second round of applications came in. Told Woodzy to apply, make sure he applies. He was going to apply no matter what, but I just wanted to, double check, and we got him in the team, and now we're part of the same team and making stuff happen. Like, we joined up together and kind of started this whole thing. So I'm 26. I'm living out in LA now. Started out in Florida, actually, and I moved out to LA kind of to chase the content creation dream, so to speak. I knew that living in Florida, I couldn't make content, so I was kind of similar to you. I worked at a tech company. I was 22, I think, 23 when I left, and there was people in the company getting their 10-year and 15-year plaques, and I did not want to get that. Yeah. I knew if I stayed there that long that I was never going to leave because the money was amazing, the benefits were incredible, and there was a bar really close by. And so pretty much every day after work, we go out with friends to the bar, and like socially, it was a very rewarding lifestyle, career-wise. It was just, I don't want to be making the same amount of money someone who's 37 is making, Like, I want to have a family, I want to have kids, but I also want to love my life. So I started doing content creation. I've always had an interest in it and never had the self-confidence to do it. And then for some random reason, I got confidence when I turned about 18. And then I met White Paw and my girlfriend, and we just said, you know what, let's just live our lives, and we freaking traveled to Mexico, and then pretty much after that, I was like, yeah, I want to live my actual life, and I started doing it. I did the same thing. School, I did graphic design. I was a paid graphic designer, video editor, all that jazz, and then I went into content creation, and now I'm relearning how to edit my own stuff instead of getting paid to do it for other people, which is honestly super interesting to kind of get into. It's wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, so this podcast is all about us, topics we wanted to talk about. If you guys ever want to hear any topics, feel free to let us know. Any of our social channels, all of that will be down below, of course. And we'll see. Maybe we can talk about what you want to talk about. You know, we'll have some little chat submissions, and we'll see what we got going on there. But to start us off, I think you wanted to talk about some of your topics, so go for it.
Yeah, of course. So a big thing for me at the moment, I mean, it's Friday 26th. Saturday 26th, actually, because it's 3 a.m. in the morning for me right now. That's why I've got the beer next to me and it's already half drunk. But Rocket League's just gone free to play. And for me, this is huge because, as we mentioned, I started on Fortnite, but I've always been playing Rocket League throughout my sort of, let's say, gaming career since I was like, I don't know. So the game came out 5 years ago in 2015, and since then I was hooked. I actually played the previous version of Rocket League, which was called Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars. And I have to say it like that because I used to get it the wrong way around, and it was like ingrained in my brain. Yeah.
Why did they think that was a good title?
Yeah, like marketing wasn't good on that one. Rocket League marketing isn't the strongest. Their Twitter presence isn't that good. They've now added a new rank, and like the previous highest rank was Grand Champ, and it sounded so cool. They've now added one called Supersonic Legend, and it just doesn't have quite the same ring to it. But I don't know what's going on with Psyonix, but they've been acquired by Epic Games. Epic Games obviously own Fortnite, and they've launched it free to play 2-3 days ago, Wednesday the 23rd of September. It went free to play, and it's been cool. It's been an experience for me. Playing the game previously, it was like 100,000 players would be online, and now it's like 1.4 million people are online at one time. And
in 3 days.
In 3 days, that's a 3-day difference.
I just looked up the old name. Sarp.
Yeah, that's what they used to call it for short. Sarp. Something like that.
Sorry. So dumb.
It was really quite something. But so for me as an experienced player, and I've streamed it probably for the past 3 months, quite on and off, because that's when I ditched Fortnite completely, and I was like, I'm never going back, which we spoke about previously. It's Rocket League's it's seen a lot of new life in it, and it's exciting, and because it's free to play, obviously a lot more people are getting involved. It's been higher up in the Twitch categories, which actually has both a positive and negative impact on me as a streamer. But yeah, and obviously, Gabe, for you, the game itself is completely new. Yeah. So I was kind of interested to see your perspective on it as a brand new player as well.
I'm kind of excited to actually play it. You know, like the only other time I've played it. I played it when it came out free on PS Plus once.
Yeah.
And so I own it on
when it released. Like Fall Guys, the same thing. It was free on release on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, so I actually have it on PlayStation, but as soon as I got a PC, I mean, like most people, I stopped playing PlayStation games. The only ones I would play was story games. So I played it like a little bit, and then I played it again at TwitchCon last year, and I could tell that it was way different, but like I didn't get that much into it, and I love soccer games, so I'm actually excited to try it out and get it to be free. And like for those of you who are playing it, code XWoodsy, right? Yeah, I mean, like, hey,
in the item shop.
If you're gonna be using freaking, you know, if you're gonna be playing Rocket League, go get it. But no, I'm curious to see what it's like, especially with the massive boom in players that you're saying. Like, it probably is not hard to find games at all, I would imagine.
So you think that, but because of Epic Games and the reliability of their servers, the downtime of the game has increased a lot. It's annoyed a lot of people. Like I was playing, for instance, I was playing viewer games today, where I host a private match and people join and we play and we take turns. And it's all a lot of fun. And so it took me about 20 attempts to start a game because the servers weren't working. They've got tournaments that they let you host. The in-game tournament feature is amazing, and it lets you spectate games. But that's broken right now as well. So that's a bit of a problem. Like the launch has definitely had its issues. The game itself I think it's starting tomorrow, possibly. Somebody was talking about something in my Discord. I'm not actually certain when Llama Rama starts, but it's their conjunction thing with Fortnite, where if you play Rocket League, you can earn skins in Fortnite and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of the Fortnite kids from my stream have been like, "Oh, you're playing Rocket League. This is cool." Now, from Wednesday, it's cool.
Yeah.
We want to know what's going on. I had someone in my chat, Zurio, who I think you're familiar with. She was like, "Why do I keep ending up on the ceiling? How do I stop that from happening?" I'm like, "You just need to steer, Zuri. Just like, don't worry." Like some of these Fortnite kids, they the skills may not transition exactly into Rocket League, but it's still like, I think the Rocket League in itself is such a great game because it's one of the games where skill-based matchmaking works perfectly.
Yeah.
Because it's a competitive game in a sense where when new players play, it's fun and everyone's bad, and that's okay. Nobody wants to be the best. Like, you're all just playing for fun, and it works really well because you're playing someone of your skill level. And when you get better, you want to play against people of your skill level that makes the match challenging. When I play against, so there's a way you can queue up, and you can queue up with someone, say he's playing with 2 brand new players and himself, you'll get matched at his skill level. And say me and 3 of my friends who are really good have queued up. If we play them, we leave that game pretty much straight away because it's not fun. You don't want to ruin someone's experience of playing by scoring 20 goals on them and winning 20-0. You want a nail biter that's going to be 3-3 to the last minute, and then someone pulls out an amazing goal, and you're like, "Oh my god, we just did that. That was insane."
Yeah.
You want that rush and adrenaline that I get when I play football. Sorry, soccer for you American folks. Although I have played American football as well. You know, I dabble in both. But that's what makes Rocket League so much fun for me. And another thing that ignites it for me is actually playing Fall Ball and Fall Guys. Every time I play it, and me and my friends
play
get tired of
Rocket
Fall
League?
Guys. We're like, "Yo, we want to play Rocket League now." It just brings that out in us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because the thing is, watching people play Rocket League is quite daunting, I think, because they can do so much. So for a new player trying to pick a game up like that, I don't know if he was apprehensive to play it at all, or you just...
that is a type of game though that I would play ranked, like right off the bat, because there's no RNG. You know, so I'm gonna be playing against Smurfs maybe a little bit, but as soon as I get like out of the bottom rank, there's no longer Smurfs, and I can just like learn. Obviously, I won't play ranked right away, but it's a game I would play ranked in.
Yeah,
I think that's the benefit of having a game that has skill-based matchmaking that has no RNG. Is it's purely how good are you. That's it. You know, there's not like random balls that come and like, oh, 2 balls on the court all of a sudden. You know, like I'm sure there's some custom game modes or something. Because I remember I played one with like a hockey puck. It was like a hockey puck and the floor was icy.
That's the hockey version of Rocket League. Yeah, there's like a game mode for that.
So it's like fun little game modes, but in ranked, like I'm gonna be playing against people who know what they're doing. Like and that's fun. Like what you said specifically brought me back to Halo 2. So Halo 2 had no skill-based matchmaking, but I used to have LAN parties with friends. And I remember one time, like our neighbors came over and they wanted to play, and I got bored in about 30 minutes because I was absolutely annihilating them. And like it was fun the first couple games because you're like, oh my God, you know, you never get to play that much. But then after 30 minutes, I was like, I don't want to play anymore. And they still want to play because they still want to try. And I'm like, this is not fun. And so to know that has the same effect in Rocket League, I think is a good thing because it means all the good players will want to stay in ranked and not go in pub matches and just screw around.
Well, that's the thing, because the casual section actually does have MMR. It is also
as well.
Skill-based as well.
Oh, that's
it
awesome.
Does have it. It's not as like strict as the ranked one, but it also has it. So there's a thing you can download for Rocket League called Backers Mod, and it actually displays your MMR. And it shows you as it increases and decreases per game.
That's awesome.
And you can see the MMR of the people you play against. So you know instantly, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's crazy. I've got to focus on his plays, and his teammates might be worse. I'll be like, okay, I can look at them and I can let them off. Like, if they might miss this ball that they go for. Because Rocket League in itself, football, like playing football in FIFA, those kind of football games, everyone's going to pass. They make every pass, and it's just shots and stuff and defending that way. Rocket League is like, this guy is played for 400, 500 hours, and he could still miss a ball that's in midair.
Yeah.
Like, it just happens. It's the way of the game. You
not
get one thing wrong,
passing.
and it's so fast-paced. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's so fast-paced in Rocket League as well when it's played properly, and that's what makes the esport side of it so exciting to watch. Like, it's so easy to pick up, and it's so easy to understand. Like, I've tried to watch League of Legends. I have not got a clue what's going on.
After I had one of my moderators who loved League of Legends teach me how to play, And I played a decent amount. I think I played like 25 hours or so, like, which for picking up a game is a pretty decent amount, I would say.
Yeah.
And so I understand the game, and I watched the like the world, whatever, League of Legends Worlds or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, literally, the camera is bouncing between person and person, right? And there's a million things happening on the screen at once, like freaking blades coming out and like magic and all this stuff, and I can't understand anything. But in terms of Rocket League, it's if this ball gets in that goal, this team scores a point. And however,
Exactly,
whatever cool tricks they do to do it, sick. But
That's a bonus.
that's the concept. And if you can understand that concept, you're set.
Exactly that. And that's why football does well. That's why Rocket League does well. And yeah, and I'm hopefully seeing it on Twitch. It'll be pretty good. But that's the thing as well, because I've noticed since it's gone live, I'd be at the top of the category.
Yeah.
Playing it before. I'd have 30 viewers, 40 viewers on a good day playing Rocket League when we're doing viewer games especially, and I'd be like top 2, 3, 4 rows. And like now with everyone playing it, I'm pushed a bit further down. And like, to be honest, I don't really mind that.
Yeah.
There are big creators who are going to come over and play the game. I've been playing it for so long. They're going to suck and it's going to be great. It's still great content to watch, because if I was talking about this to somebody else who was looking to get back into streaming, and as a new player, I feel watching someone else who is new at the game learn the game and learn things, as they learn them, you'll go, oh, monkey see, monkey do. I've seen him learn that. I'm going to try that too. Whereas if I'm champ diamond rank, my mods will get annoyed at me saying I'm champ rank, because they helped me get there, and now they've changed the SKUs and MMR ranks for the new season because of all the influx of players. I'll talk about that in a minute. But it's just that is what people will want to see, and I think that will help new creators do well in Twitch playing Rocket League. It's because monkey see, monkey do. I learn that, he learns that, and everyone gets better together. They don't want to see me pulling off all these things that they're like, damn, how did he even do that? Because it's taken me a long time to learn that through watching other people do it and then going and practicing it, because up until recently, I haven't had someone telling me how to do it. It's only since I've been playing with Jay again in the last 6-7 months, one of my mods, he's sat me down and said, no, you double tap here, you do this, you press that button, and that happens. And that's
what
how
we
it
know
works.
too is any category on Twitch that explodes, the benefit of it is when it dies, right? Quote unquote dies. The people who remain gain the rest of the viewers.
True.
Because like, so let's say someone with 1,000 viewers goes to play Rocket League and they play it for a week. 20 or 30 of their viewers might really realize, holy frick, I love watching Rocket League. And then they stop playing Rocket League, and those 20 viewers find somebody else. We've seen that with Chloe in Hyperscape. Ben with Fall Guys. We've seen that with... I have a friend who did it with Apex. So when Apex exploded, he got to one of the top ranks. He signed to CLG, and now he averages 300 viewers. Even though the Apex category is 4 or 5 down the list, usually... He's one of the top every time because all the big people left, and he's insane. You know, he's a god tier wraith, and that's another huge benefit.
CLG, that's Nicewig's team, isn't it?
Yeah. CLG
Nicewig's
Madness
sick.
is the you know. I played Rainbow Six with him at TwitchCon last year.
I love Nicewig. He's
Yeah.
cool. Controller god. Yeah. Sorry, I just
No, you're good.
Fanboy moment there. No, but again, so hopefully that stuff for Rocket League stays true. And that's actually quite interesting as well, I thought, with what they did with the rank system, just to finish it up on Rocket League. The last point is they actually drew all the ranks, existing ranks, because they knew the influx of players was coming. They drew all the existing ranks closer to gold. So they wanted gold to become the main rank as such. Like, that's where majority of players would sit.
If you're decent, you're gold.
Whereas if you were decent before, it was sort of high plat, low diamond. And I got into champ, and I was amused that I managed to get into champ. I was like, wow, I really don't think I'm that good a player. I haven't developed it. Like, mechanically speaking, I'm not that gifted. I just know the basics of Rocket League, can play it pretty well, and I'm pretty reliable and hit my shots. So that's how it worked. And I actually deranked two small ranks. So it's Diamond 1 to 3 is the official rank. So I went from Champ 1 to Diamond 2 in 3s, and I haven't actually got my 2s rank yet, but I'll probably sit Diamond 3 in that.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to see the way they've actually thought about how this influx of players is going to affect their game. And obviously they've moved all the existing players who are bronze and silver up, because the new guys who obviously have not touched the game are going to come in and they'd get wrecked.
Yeah.
And it'd just be really unfair, and they'd never be able to get out of bronze, and there'd be tears everywhere, and so they pulled the other guys up, which is pretty cool.
I think that's the right way to do it for longevity.
Yeah, 100%. Because I knew if I started a game and I was in bronze, losing all the time. It's like Valorant.
Yeah.
I'm in gold. I'm in gold
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
I'm happy with that. I'm happy being in gold. I'm like, thank you guys. That's great. I'll take this.
That's
It's
exactly
like
what I did last season. I got gold 3 and I
Yeah.
was like, cool, done with ranked on
Nice.
Valorant. I'm done.
Yeah.
See you later.
It's like Pokemade's played a lot of Valorant. She's in Diamond, and she gets hate for being like a e-girl who can't play anything, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh damn, Poke's in Diamond. That's crazy. Just shows that like if you grind a game long enough, you can get good at it.
Yeah.
It's just not like no hate to Poke, obviously.
No, of course.
Probably very much better at the game. Slap me up and down the Valorant maps, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just pretty cool that it's rewarding in that way of not putting down the new players.
Yeah, 100%. I think another massive game right now that we can talk about is Among Us, because I wanted to talk about Among Us a little bit. So, big news that just happened on Among Us is that they canceled Among Us 2. Among Us 2 is done. They're working on fixing all the bugs in the current game and adding a completely new stage, which I think is sick.
It is sick, but I think it might also pose extra problems.
I also think so. I think they need to figure out the servers for sure.
Yeah.
Someone said that they might be shopping with Epic, because one of the benefits of going to Epic is you get access to Amazon Web Servers. And Amazon, the game is so basic that you don't need a lot of servers. You just need to have somewhere you can host it.
True.
You know?
True.
And Amazon should be able to handle that with ease. And two, I like the idea of them fixing the game. Like,
Yeah.
my only worry with this change is that they won't do it quick enough,
Yeah.
because we are getting so close to Cyberpunk coming out. And Cyberpunk is as an RPG game, will take up most RPGers next 4 or 5 months.
True.
And a lot of the people who are playing right now are, if you notice, a lot of the GTA roleplay community, a lot of the Destiny community, a lot of the grinding games community are in Among Us. And then you have the top streamers, of course, like Courage and all of them. They're always going to play whatever's popular. But
Of course.
still, massive creators like Dr. Lupo, he plays Among Us, but Dr. Lupo loves grinding games. He plays Tarkov,
he's a
which
huge
has
Destiny player as well, isn't he?
Destiny, Tarkov, games that have no reward. It doesn't matter. He likes playing them because he likes the story, he likes the gunplay, he likes all that stuff. Cyberpunk's gonna have that junk. King Goliathan, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a massive RP player, massive, and he's gonna leave it once it comes out. So I'm worried that if they don't do anything quick enough, that they're going to spend a lot of money on Among Us 1, fixing and changing stuff, and it's going to die again.
But again, does that then bring back to what we spoke about earlier for the smaller creators, you and I, if we were to still play our Among Us games, people who enjoyed the Among Us,
I freaking hope
stick
so,
around,
dude.
and then we can pick up. Essentially, it sounds weird saying it, but pick up the scraps.
Yeah, 100%
Of
is
people
it
who are
what
like
it is.
that's how you grow your community. Like I've set up stuff in my Discord so the guys can play when we're offline. I saw a message in there earlier of them trying to organize an Among Us game, because it's tricky. Among Us is so much fun when you can play with 10 people with a mic. I feel that's obviously the best way to play it. You would love the game we got going last night because it wasn't everyone shouting at each other. There's like, you want to avoid that.
Yeah.
You want to have the games with the people who can take it properly.
Yeah.
And that's how you have nice, enjoyable games. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of new people trying to pick up on it, and it's fine. Like, people have things to learn with the game. You just have to be careful when you're playing it, and as an experienced player, to not let your patience grow thin, so you don't end up gatekeeping people from the game. And I think.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, like, I think that's the key to Among Us succeeding on and on.
Yeah, I think that
it's
they
this
need some
community.
type of like structure in the community. I think when all the biggest players leave, it'll be a lot more dedicated players, I think. Like, it'd be a lot more interested parties. It's one of those games, though, like, if you're really good at lying or you're really good at paying attention, everybody hates you playing.
Yeah, so I hate playing with you because you pay too much attention.
I pay a lot of attention.
There was a round where I was an imposter, and you was like, I've got tabs on everyone except Woodzy. It's Woodzy. And I was like, damn it. Damn you. I was like, I wasn't even trying to actively avoid the cameras.
Yeah.
But it just happened that game that I did. And I was just like, damn, he's good.
It's got to be Woodzy.
It's like, where have you been? And I was like, this is when I was still pretty new.
Yeah.
My heart was racing, and I was like, and he just called me flat out, and I'm out.
And a lot of people a lot of people get scared to go off those calls too, because they're like, "Oh, you're so good, you must be the imposter." And it's like some of these lies are really hard to come up with if you're not innocent. But I think that's what it is, and I think the role playing aspect, like to me, it's playing a role, right? When you're imposter, your whole thing is like, "No, I'm a crewmate. I'm just murdering people." Like you try and do your best. Sometimes I play where I only tell the truth. Sometimes I play where like I do nothing until the last round where I'll kill like 4 or 5 people. And then everyone's like, wait, no, Gabe was definitely innocent. It's not him. And then I get to the last round and I can kill the last person and then I win. Like, there's always a way to play. And Jordan Fisher actually brought something up really interesting. He stopped playing on stream for a little bit because everyone was saying he's cheating because he's an actor. Yeah. And he's like, well, just because a game comes out where I can be a really good player, I'm not allowed to play. That's insane.
It's a bit weird. It's like saying Shroud can't play a first-person shooter.
Yeah, you know what, Shroud? You're not allowed to play any more first-person shooters, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's
the guy's insanely nuts. He's just so good, and it's the same. It just plays up to his qualities.
Yep. And so I like what is happening right now. A lot of people are just banning people who are talking trash to the other team players. So like Myth, for instance, was playing the other day, and everyone threw, and people started like throwing slander at Pokimane and Valkyrie for throwing, and then so it just started a ban wave in his chat. And he's like, I don't care how long you've been a subscriber. You know we don't make fun of other people. Like, cut it out or get banned. And then you just see, like, message deleted, message deleted, message deleted, message deleted. Yeah. I was like, well.
Myth is a good guy. I think he had, like, so he as a streamer was so obviously blown up by Fortnite. But he had, I didn't even know, but he had a fall off, apparently, where he fell off streaming. And, like, he's just such a good guy. And I think what he does really well is he owns up to like what he's good at and what he's not, and like he just owns it, and he's himself. He's Myth. He's just perfect as he is. And anytime I go into a stream, I'm laughing. Like, he's hilarious. He's doing something goofy, or he never compromises his morals in that sense. And with stuff like that, I think it's all you need to succeed and like sort of run a good community, which is what's worried me, because I get a bit. I don't want to ban. As a small streamer, I'm like, whenever I've got to ban someone, I mean, I know you can vouch for this as well. Banning someone from your stream is like,
it hurts. It hurts. I actually, me and Woodzy had a conversation about this off stream, but I feel like as a small streamer, I think anything under 20 viewers specifically, when someone's been a part of your community for a year or 2 years, it feels like you're telling a nephew, I can't hang out with you anymore. I can't. And it's like, it's someone just watching your videos online, but like, this is such a personal job. I think I have 4,000 something hours total streaming. Yeah. So when I have that many hours streaming and someone has watched for 900 hours and I got to be like, that's it, you're gone. It hurts. Yeah. You know, that's something that's way easier when
nobody really wins.
Yeah.
But it's what you got to do when things like lines are overstepped and things.
If you set a precedent, it stops it from happening again, which is nice. But it's definitely hard to do it the first time.
Oh, fully. The first time I had to properly ban someone, I was like, wow, this feels bad. Like, I'm costing myself a viewer, but I'm making it a better environment for future viewers who want to come in. And like now, second anyone says anything, and I'm like, I don't like that. Like, somebody came in today, for instance, and they got gifted a sub, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. And like, gifted subs turn into subs a lot of the time. I've had like, I think like today alone, I had a very good day today, and I got 2 gifted subs turned into actual subs. And they got gifted, and he instantly said something negative, and I was like, "You're out of here, mate!" Like, he turned on someone and was like, "Oh, you're all idiots," but in a much worse sense. For instance,
I did that on Fortnite. Someone came in with Fortnite and subbed to me, and then immediately said something negative, and I banned him. I said, "Thanks for the money, bye."
Yeah.
It was
it's
racist.
like-
It wasn't just negative. It was racist, and I was like, "Cool,
fair enough then.
You're
Yeah,
gone.
take his
You're
money and he can.
But I literally was like, "Yo,
the
thanks
boot.
for the money. See you later."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just you know, you just tell someone's gonna be a problem off the bat, and I don't need to deal with this. But yeah, it's definitely tough. I didn't realize that was an important aspect of streaming, like actually running a community. I think sort of in the last 3-4 months that really hit home with me. Like when I started streaming, I was like, I thought I had to be in the big streamer mindset of, I'm the streamer, this is me, you guys can play with me, it's these hours, blah, 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 blah. You get to watch me all these other hours. But it's like, why? Why would anyone want to watch you? Yeah, okay, you're good. Yeah, okay, you're entertaining. But why? Why should they invest in you? Like their time, not necessarily the money, but just their time. Why should they invest their time in you?
I did the opposite, and I think I screwed myself the opposite way. I focused so heavily on community that I unfortunately made the appearance that I was like a lot closer to people than I actually am.
Yeah.
Like I remember 2 specific times I've had people ask me on stream, like, one person said, "Are you my friend?" And that one I have the answer solid now. I'm like, "No, I'm not your friend, but I love my community. And I'm definitely a fan of my community, but I'm not your friend. And I'm a streamer, and that's the way it is. But I love hanging out with you guys." Didn't have that the first time. First time I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. But the second time I said, someone said, "You say you love the community. Do you love me?" And I was like, "No, definitely not." And like I had to get like real serious because the person who was asking was already like saying a lot of stuff about their personal life, and I kept trying to tell them like, "Stop, you're kind of doxing yourself." And I like really quickly realized, okay, there are children who don't understand the association of streamer to community relationship, and that's not their fault, that's my fault. Because I used to spend time on my community like Discord, right? And people would ask questions, and like people would need advice on their life and stuff like that, and I'd be helping them. I would spend probably like 20 hours a week on my Discord, not on stream.
Yeah.
And so people like really connected with me, but it became unhealthy.
Yeah.
And so recently I've taken the strategy of like, I'm a show and like we are a community, but what you're watching is a show. And I'm the entertainer of said show. If you ruin the show, you're out. You know? It's a weird balance, man. It's a weird balance.
It is, yeah, it can be weird. And I think I take a different approach in the way that I stream personally. I'm very like, oh, we are pals. Like there are people that I've known for a long time. Like I've known these guys for a year, and like I know a lot about their life that they've told me. And I think because the main thing that I have for me is that, well, and the reason why I was in sales in the first place was because I'm fairly personable, and I'm good at talking to people really, and that's just how I form my friendships.
Yeah.
And like it's also the line, like there's guys I will game with offline off of stream from my community that I won't do with the rest of the community as such. And I think it's about finding that line, and like
your age average is higher too.
True. That's very true. But it's also like if someone's too keen with me from the start, I'm instantly put off. It's the person that grows on you, and how you'd meet someone in a bar. You'd say, "Hey, what's up, mate?" Like you'd have a conversation, share a beer maybe, and then you gradually get to know each other over time. Those relationships between a streamer and a viewer work the best.
Yep.
Whereas when you get, for instance, and it is the younger viewers that do this, the over doxing, over sharing of information, and you're like, "Oh, okay, bud. Like this is like my community may be nice, but there could be someone in here who wants to use that information in a bad way, and I can only prevent it so much." That's one of the things you got to be careful of, I think, when running a community. And it's like, I think we've both learned a lot so I've been streaming now, like I said, since May of last year, which is about a year and almost a half, maybe 18 months. And
I've been doing 2 years now.
I've made mistakes.
Yeah.
100%. I've made mistakes along the way. And
I'm still going to make mistakes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm
still going to make mistakes.
I'm going live tomorrow, and I'm making a mistake tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But it's just about learning from them, and realizing I could have done this better, I could have done that better. And yeah, for me, it was realizing I could have been more open to playing with my community from like just off stream. Like when so Nalu, Nalutic, the another member of the grid team, she spoke heavily about playing with the community and just offline in Discord, and I was like, it never really occurred to me to sort of act that way or run games that way. And like looking at it now, it's like, duh, you idiot, why don't you think of that?
Yeah.
And it's just about just being open-minded to that sort of things and not saying, no, I'm gonna die on this hill, these guys can only play with me at these times. I think it's very important when you're become a streamer, is like, or choose to take the route of streaming and content creation, is you've got to be open to changing things up. My Monday videos, I change all the time. They're just whatever's hot, and like I'm always willing to try and find something new on YouTube. And like the series that was received well, my weekly Wednesday series, that one I just keep pumping out each week. And you know, that's how I run things. Is make a mistake and learn from it, and if it goes well, it goes well, and you stick to it.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you're not going to get anywhere.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the first time I hit go live as well, I mean, we were talking about this earlier, because it's the first time you and I have probably done a podcast by ourselves. Well, I'm not 100% certain on your experience, but for me it is. And I messed the intro up about 10 times on this one. It was all my fault. I was talking over Gabe. I was coming in, and he'd be like, "This is Gabe," and I'd be like, "And Woodzy," extra late. It's mistakes are made, and then like your nerves set in. And I think for anyone like looking to start content creation as well, it's just hit go live. That's the best advice I give. Just hit go live. Get your friends to watch you. Hit go live and just create an atmosphere.
You got to figure it out eventually, you know.
Yeah.
You got to find
the
some
rest
way
of the
to do
stuff
it.
will come along the way.
Yeah, there's freaking YouTube videos. Go to YouTube and freaking look it up. You know,
like honestly, man, I used YouTube when I started. It was mad.
There's so much helpful stuff out there. I think since we're talking about our community anyways, you want to start talking about the merch a little bit? Kind of talk about what you're wearing?
Let's have a little plug. So for our audio listeners, I'm wearing a very suave pink hoodie. Yeah, so me and Gabe, before we started, actually, we were talking about this, and it's a bit weird as a small streamer, I think, to have merch. But that being said, I'm currently wearing my merch. So I have friends who obviously are smaller than I am and have merch, and I don't know of people that have their merch. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. Like, it's again, for me, it's like starting the stream. You're nervous to hit go live. I'm nervous to hit live on my website that I've got my merch hosted at. It was really just, for me, it was just something I wanted to have that embodied me as a streamer. I'm actually, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the hat right now as well. Like, that wasn't even meant to be
he just turned around his backwards cap and the logo's right on the front.
Yeah, I always wear my hat backwards. Because I'm a balding man at 24 and I have insecurities. But so I have my little logo on my hat and on my jumper that I'm wearing right now. And yeah, I just went for a simplistic design, and that sort of embodies me as a streamer. Like I'm nothing special. I'm a regular guy. I enjoy gaming. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. And I was like, I want something that I'd wear out on the street. And it's something it's not, because a lot of these logos, they're like I love some of the 100 Thieves collections that they do, but like there's no camping one, for instance. It's just all over everywhere. And I'm like, that's too much for me. And like for some people, it's great. It is great. But for me, it's just like, I love 100 Thieves, but I don't want to wear that. But some of their other stuff, I'm like, oh, damn, that's dope.
There's a balance between what I would wear and what I would buy to support someone I like. And if you can find the perfect balance between the two, which I think your merch does a really good job at, then you have people who will want to buy it and people who are interested looking at it and they're like, whoa, that's kind of cool. What is that? Yeah. And that's what you want. Like, so I'm wearing a piece of my merch right now, which is literally just an emote that Whitepot created. It just says frick on it. It's a little tiny emote that I used to have. And I came out with this merch because everyone was like, we got to make something because we want something. So I made socks first. I think we sold like 3 or 4 pairs of socks. It was very themed. It was a little vampire Gabe drinking a pumpkin spice latte, even though I don't drink those. Hey,
it's October soon.
Yeah, I know, right? Come out with it again. But then I decided to make this shirt, and the concept of the shirt was just like, you guys want merch. You guys have asked me for merch. I'm going to make merch. This is just for you guys. So I came out with this. It was a limited time run. I did it for 35 days, I believe. We sold like 12 shirts or something like that. And that was it. It was just for that. And I think
I can't even get my hands on it.
Nope, nobody can.
Gabe won't sell it to me.
I have the designs. I'm not giving it to anybody because I want the people who got it to feel special. Yeah. And my next run of merch, I'm already planning a design. There is kanji and there is katakana for Japanese lettering. Kanji is traditional Japanese words, and katakana, I believe, is any word in any other language that is spelled out in the alphabet conversion. So, for example, I want my name, Gabe Barbosa, in katakana because it looks sick. I think it looks really, really nice. And it looks like it's so clean. All the lines and curves are very, like, harmonious, and it doesn't have any of those breaks in it. And so I think that'd be sick. So I want to make my next piece of merch like that, but I want to do the same thing again. Limited run, high quality, just one-time thing. And it's weird because I look at streaming very much as a business. And so I have to take care of like what I see, but merch is the easiest way to get someone who wants to spend money to support you, but doesn't want to just donate $200 to you. They would prefer to spend $200 and buy, a hat, a jacket.
I fully get that. Yeah,
it's just hard to like say like you're my audience.
Yeah.
Now spend money on me right now.
Yeah. That's my issue is like. To be fair, like I've got mods and stuff and everyone, and I've spoken about it. I was like, I'll buy you something just because like you've been helping me for so long. Like,
yeah.
And like I was taking so long with it, like Sarcastic Stump, obviously you know very well. She was like, don't mind that, just give me the link. I'll buy it right now. Just let me buy it. I just want it because like she's half like I want to support you, and half of it is like I want something cool.
Yeah.
And that is pretty cool to have. And like I'd be scared just in the sense. It's like the fear of. It's not necessarily the fear of no one buying it.
But like it's imposter syndrome.
YouTube video, it's the fear of no one watching it.
Yeah.
And like, I think I suffer from that a little bit. I think everyone does in content creation.
Imposter syndrome goes all the way to the top. All the way to the top.
Yeah.
Larry Fishburger, do you know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah. Larry Fishburger still has it, and like he hasn't gotten recognized by a team yet. And like he really feels, I think he feels like a team is what he needs to be like made it. But it exists no matter what. Freaking Alexia Ray just took a break yesterday.
Yeah,
She's like,
I saw that tweet.
I need to take a break. Dr. Lupo's taking breaks. Ninja took a 3-month break with a $60 million paycheck, but took a 3-month break. Like it's all the way up.
He's been tweeting about his anxiety as well.
Courage literally can't sleep with his anxiety. My man is making millions, not because of 100 Thieves.
You see that Kalari ball?
Yeah.
That was nice.
Like, he's making millions outside of his 100 Thieves contract. But anxiety is killing him. And so I think, like, thankfully, I'm White Paw, my girlfriend, is amazing. And she helps me a lot with this imposter syndrome stuff where she's like, objectively, this is really good. And that helps to hear sometimes because as our own creators, just like I started the intro, I used to do video editing and photo editing for a living. And like I watch my own videos and I don't really think they're that great, but sometimes I have to sit back and be like, no, this is good. And I think the same thing happens with merch is like, we just need to get over it and do it because people want it and they're not just saying it. And at the end of the day, our goal,
exactly it.
At the end of the day, our goal is to do this for a living comfortably, not do this for a living like hitting for scraps kind of thing. I recently just got a sponsorship with Raid Shadow Legends. Yes, I know. Just like everybody else.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid. I did a little alert that when people paid the channel points, 5,000 channel points, it was a green screen version of me that comes over and just says, have you downloaded Raid yet? And then the freaking the chat would have the little command at the same time. But no, I did it. I just recently did a sponsorship with Raid Shadow Legends, and there's no way that's possible without my mods. And so I just recently paid my mods in appreciation. Like, hey, this is for you guys sticking with me because I don't have money to pay you otherwise, but if I get a sponsorship deal, that's extra money I wasn't counting on. Here, take some of that cash. And, like, you guys have been helping me so much. And eventually, like, if I get more and more money, the more and more I can help. But merch is one of those things. Like telling people,
merch is one of those things.
Buy your merch, watch my videos, freaking subscribe, like my tweets, like all that stuff. Like it's hard. It's hard because there's a part of you that feels like you're begging.
Yeah.
But how many hours did you just say you did this week?
140. So I was talking about for the month. I'm on 140, and I'm down like 2 days. Like I've got 2 days spare, and I've already hit more than last month.
Yeah, and
So, like, for me, a normal month, yeah.
I just took a hiatus, so I'm probably like 60 hours or 80 hours a month, something like that. I've been heavily focusing on, well, one, my mental health, and two, like content creation, YouTube, ideas. I've been writing a lot. I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes for the grid. And even so, like my last 2 streams totaled 14 hours. Before I took my hiatus, my average stream length was 12 hours. We should tell people, like, we're not like basic people doing this. We are doing this with a passion.
Yeah.
We should be like, hey, I got sick merch, wear it, just like everybody else. And the reason they say it is because it works. Imposter syndrome is hard, man. Imposter syndrome is so rough.
Yeah, I mean, I stream 39 hours a week, and I'm still like, every time I go live, I'm like, damn. Is someone gonna be here when I start?
Yep. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Like I stream on 5 different days of the week, and like I get that fear every day, and like sometimes nobody says anything in chat for like the first 10, 15 minutes. I had one the other day. It was 15 minutes, and nobody said anything. Not even my mods. My mods were there, but they were like busy doing something.
Yeah.
So like my mods are normally really, really, really good. As much as like I give them stick, because anytime I ask them to do anything for me, they're like, "No, get lost." I'm like,
I'm not doing
guys,
it.
Please
help.
Because they're my pals as well. And yeah, but they're normally always there. And like this day, for instance, they just weren't. Like people have life, stuff goes on.
Yeah.
And for the first 15 minutes, no one said anything, and I was like, like it wounded me a little bit, but you just get through it. And I watched it. I actually watched the stream back after I'd finished the day for the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Like I could sit here and watch this and be okay, because I was talking to myself and I had to make my own conversation, and it put me back to that fear of when I very first started.
When we started,
streaming.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because when you start, no one's gonna be there.
Yep.
Like, unless you say to your friends, "Hey, buddy, I'm going live. Would you do me a favor? Would you come and talk to me in my chat?" That is one of the best ways when you start streaming to start talking to people and get practice. And I feel like, for instance, I've had it today where a new streamer, someone who started streaming recently, was in my voice chat. They were reading my chat on stream today. Whilst I was like, it was a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
But for them, it's good practice, and I know they don't mean any harm by it.
Because they don't get the same experience.
Yeah, for them, it's
and
their
that's what it
practice
is. Yeah.
of reading a busy chat.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with it at all. That's why I actually, when somebody asked me for advice on streaming, besides all the usual, I've got there's some videos on my YouTube. I was just like, this is my setup. This is what I did. This is how to increase your average viewership.
We should do an episode on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
Could be good. Right, make a note. But like, just even practicing talking to a busy chat. Like, I'm not talking like Tfu's chat, because that's mad. No one can read that. Just a viewer, somebody with like 40 viewers, just pop in their stream. Just stream off, record yourself, and just talk to their chat as if you're talking to them.
See if you could do it. Yeah. Because it's not as easy as people think.
Oh, there's one guy, Stallion, on Twitch. He's currently going for his phase 5 push, and I'm just literally, I only know him through Twitter and watching his streams. The man plays intense Call of Duty matches, and the speed he reads his chat is amazing. Like, I'm gobsmacked by it. The guy's nuts.
That's insane. He probably has an overlay or something that's on like his screen.
I'm adamant he has to have an overlay, because he does not miss shots, and he's reading his chat.
That's wild.
He's insane, but yeah.
Yeah, we all started with 0.
100%.
You know, I tell that people all the time.
Vouch.
Yeah, like when people, that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't understand is they forget that everybody started at 0, and it's like it's so hard to get viewers. And it's like, well, one, I have to get viewers every day. You know, people have to stay. But 2, I started by talking to myself for hours, and then eventually someone came in. They're like, "Oh, I'll stick around. This is cool." You know, there should be like a practice streamer program.
True. I mean, it's the thing is, people come in and they won't like it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. I mean, maybe you are, but maybe you're not.
Haters are still viewers.
To tell. You've got to look at yourself and realize where you're going right and where you're going wrong.
We should totally do an episode on this.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be awesome, actually. It's just something about that. I don't know. The only other topic I had was Minecraft. I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to talk about.
No, I'm about good for today. Go on. Hit me with Minecraft.
Minecraft!
I'm a rare being.
Yeah.
I'm someone who has not really played. Like and when I say not really played, I mean my game time hasn't totaled an hour. I've played it twice.
Jeez.
I've logged off instantly. I didn't enjoy it, but I'm very aware that it is a good game, and it has infinite possibilities. But for me as a gamer, it just never captured my love.
It's a lot of work, which makes a lot of people not like to play it that often. But best game ever made, or best game ever sold, right? 200 million copies. It's the number one most selling game on the planet.
I mean, how long ago did it come out?
11 years, I think.
Yeah, and it's
11 or
still
so.
one of the biggest games today.
It's
I don't think you can
on
follow it.
Xbox every year. It's still increasing sales, which doesn't make sense. But more and more players, more and more people. So recently, the Grid or DMP launched a Grid Minecraft server.
Yep.
And I just hopped back on. I haven't played since 1.14, so I've missed 2 major updates. I like to do that. I'll like heavily play, and then I'll miss a couple updates. And now I'm back in, and I've only been playing creative because I haven't been playing anything else. But I just recently created like a Nether like terrarium, basically what I think the Nether looks like. And in this server, we're just playing with a few dozen people, like really not that many people, but everybody is building something insane. And just seeing the level of creativity that everyone has is like mind blowing.
Yeah.
To just watch what everyone does. And I think that bringing brand new people into Minecraft, like you said, bringing new people into Rocket League is insane because you're watching people learn. Like some of the people on the server are like 30 to 40 years old with children who are playing Minecraft because they watch DMP3.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, yeah, I'll hop on, I'll play Minecraft. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. And they're like building kitchens and trying to figure stuff out. Somebody's building a bar, and they like gave the controller, they plugged up a controller, I guess, to the computer, and they gave it to their daughter, and they literally typed in the Discord, like, this is free babysitting, thank you so much. And like literally just letting their kid build in Minecraft during this quarantine. I can imagine they're probably losing it with being home with their kid. I just think that it's so much creative freedom that it's mind-blowing the effect that it's having on the community itself and the ability to make stuff. And I think what's interesting about it is there recently was a resurgence on YouTube because the Hermitcraft group just started again with 116. They're a massive group of YouTubers that the top YouTuber I think has 7 million and the bottom YouTuber has like 126,000 subs.
Okay.
So big range in subs, but insane content creation. Someone on that place made a 2-scale castle from some other video game. They recreated it block by block in survival. So they have to get every single resource by hand, essentially. And they're building like a dozens of meters tall, huge castle. And now they have to build the rooms in it. And they're gonna. Someone built you ever watch Avatar with the blue people? You know that big old tree?
Yeah.
Someone made that tree. Like
It's Pandora, isn't it?
yeah, Pandora. Basically, that's what they're making is that massive tree on Pandora. And you can fly up to it, and it takes you 3 seconds to fly to the top of the tree. It's massive. And so I think seeing this resurgence of Minecraft is super interesting because, like we just said, I mean, the game is ancient. When did it come out? Minecraft launch.
I think you're about right with that 11 years ago. And I mean, we've already seen one resurgence of it when Fortnite began to die the first time and all the Fortnite YouTubers switched over to Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft did really great. Official release in 2011. 10 years, but it originally came out in 2019, so 11 years when the alpha came out.
Yeah.
God, I wish I played the alpha all the way through to now, dude. Oh, God. Imagine grasping that concept, but you never know. But I'm just having a lot of fun in Minecraft recently because I'm re-experiencing it, and without doing anything, no promotion of any kind through the server, no promotion on Twitter, anything like that. My first day streaming on the server properly, I did 6 hours and I hit 20 viewers. And it's technically like a brand new game for me, and I was averaging usually about 9 to 10 over the past week, and it just spiked up. Because a bunch of people are just watching me rediscover the game, and they're like, I should play.
Exactly that.
And they want to play as well.
That. I mean, that's the thing that every new game has, I think, and that's what the beauty of Twitch is. You watch someone else play, and you're like, I want to do that. And it's like it's the difference of watching someone for the quality of their skill, the watching a content creator, I think, for their personality and stuff. When someone makes the game seem enjoyable, in that way, you're like, oh, and then it brings those players into the game. And this is why I think you obviously see more and more sponsorships of games on Twitch, like Apex and Hyperscape we were talking about before, because unfortunately Hyperscape, people have come to realize the game may not be as successful as they thought it was going to be. Every time I look at it, it's under 1,000 viewers on Twitch. But like we said, Chloe is top of it normally, killing it with like over 100 viewers, which is insane. She's got effectively like 1/7 of the viewership in the category.
The entire category, yeah.
It's nuts. Honestly, like all credit to her. But for Minecraft, it's endless. And the people rediscovering that game and coming back for these new updates, like you said, where you take these breaks from the game. Minecraft doesn't necessarily need to sponsor people for that. It just people just continuously come back in waves and fall back in love with the game, and it just sees spikes.
And there's enough people to do that it works, which is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like its own free advertising.
It's insane, dude. It's absolutely insane.
The games like that, I mean, Fortnite's obviously still popping off. They obviously, I don't think they probably ran sponsored streams at the start, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And they've obviously never needed to do it again, because the game in itself and its initial release was amazing.
So good.
And it's just, obviously things have gone on, and it's had its ups and downs, like any game has. It is where it is now. But yeah, Minecraft especially, I think it's definitely in a category of its own in that sense. And like you guys talking about it makes me want to give it a third go and be like, maybe this time will be different. Who knows? But I'm 24, and all I can imagine is the abuse I'm going to get off a girlfriend when I'm playing Minecraft. And she's like, how old are you playing Minecraft? I'll be like, leave me alone.
All you got to do is make something really cool. If you make something really cool, then they're like, how'd you do that?
What? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty sick, dude. My last jump into Minecraft was discovering redstone. So the first couple of years was all survival, then creative, and then my last jump was like, how do people break redstone? How do you break stuff? And then I figured it out. I loved it.
To me and the rest of the viewers that have never played Minecraft, what's redstone?
Redstone is a circuit. So Minecraft has circuitry, and redstone allows electricity to run through the circuit. The circuit has two states, on and off, a 1 and a 0. So technically, anything that can be created in the real world can be created in Minecraft. And very recently, someone just created the first 64-bit computer in Minecraft. Yeah. They made a 64-bit computer in Minecraft that was, I think the data file for the server was like 15 gigs or something. And they used it to compute basic math problems. But it was doing it and solving it in milliseconds. Like, in a game, they created that. Verizon did a sponsored thing with Minecraft where they created a actual phone number that you could video call, and it would display in Minecraft with no mods, just with a plugin. Yeah. And so it was literally a massive phone. You have to stand really far away from it, and you get to see, they would use the blocks to display the pixels, essentially, and there was a command block that did all the work for you. But on your phone, the person you're talking to, you're literally looking at a Minecraft character. But in Minecraft, they're looking at someone on a cell phone, a massive cell phone. Like, the possibilities are endless, absolutely endless. And me and Whitepaw just talked about it. I think what we might do is we actually might make a racing track through the jungle using boats, which would be a lot of fun. Just like a Mario Kart track, but in Minecraft. Because why not?
Why not?
We could do whatever you want in that game. It's wild.
Why not? Yeah, that game was, I think, one of the first instances of battle royale as well.
Yeah,
so
that's where it came from.
I never really was familiar with H1Z1, but the first Hunger Games I heard of, because I was like, wow, Hunger Games is cool. I want to play a battle royale game, but I could never find one. Was Minecraft Hunger Games, and it was the reason I wanted to try Minecraft. Just to play that, because I was so interested in the battle royale concept, and obviously it's blown up to what it is now, and obviously I wasn't the only one who was feeling that way, because I think
everyone wanted to play.
Yeah, battle royales are just cool. I don't think they'll ever go away now that they've blown up so much because they work so well. But yeah, that was really what attracted. Like the things you can do in it seem unbelievably endless, and although it probably escapes my imagination, as I did build a house once in Minecraft and it was very underwhelming. My own creativity did not show to its fullest, but
I just found the first instance of Hunger Games was in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
When did H1Z1 come out?
I'm not actually certain. Like I really didn't. I'd
2018.
never heard of the game. H1Z1 came out in 2018.
2018 was the official Battle Royale H1Z1. The original game came out in 2016, but 2018 was the original Battle Royale. So freaking 2012, Minecraft had Hunger Games as the first Battle Royale.
6 years early.
It's crazy. And there's people who know Minecraft Hunger Games who don't know the movie or the book Hunger Games.
The books are so good.
Like, that's how successful the Minecraft version of it is.
Bad. The books are good.
I didn't watch the third movie on purpose.
Yeah, it's not.
I watched the second and I was like,
I read the books first in that series and I was so happy.
Yeah, I didn't want them to be ruined anymore. I actually read them. So we got to read one over the summer as a assignment for the next year of school, and everyone came to school and everyone was obsessed with it. And then we actually convinced our teacher, like, please let us read the second one as our second book. We don't want to read this other book. And our teacher was like, okay. And so we read the second book, and then we got her to read the third book too. And I mean, that's kind of why I've exploded, and Jennifer Lawrence got that whole thing anyways. But
yeah, it was a great set of books. They toned it down in the movies, and I didn't enjoy that. I loved how dark it was in the books.
It was brutal, dude.
It was brutal.
It was brutal.
Suzanne Collins, man, she's got something going on in her head. That was bad.
She's got a little disturbed stuff in there. I think they can make it now, though. After Deadpool made as much success as it did, companies are not as afraid to make insane movies.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool was nuts.
I was also glad I actually watched all the Harry Potters apart from Deathly Hallows before I read the book. So I read the Deathly Hallows book and was pleased with that. And then the movie was a letdown, in my opinion. But
I wasn't allowed to read any of the books, so I watched all the movies.
Yeah.
Because that was way back in the day. So I like the movies. Yeah. I don't know what the books are like at all.
Books are great.
Yeah. Apparently, one of my friends read the books, and she finished all of them before ever watching the movies or anything like that. And she thought the entire time Hermione was black and Welsh. And so when she watched the movie, she was like, this is not who Hermione is for me. So she only watched the first movie, and she was like, I'm done. Because in her mindset, she was thinking Hermione was black and Welsh. And, like, I know that Hermione was described many times in the book, but, like, when you build a mental image, a picture of who someone is, and then it's different in the movie, you can't like, enjoy it. I did the same thing with Aragon. Like, they did, like, a white blonde kid for Aragon, and my mindset, it was, like, a kid who was, like, a little bit maybe more rugged, a little bit more tan, brown hair. I know they said he's blonde in the book. I don't care. I thought he had brown hair.
Oh, it's like whatever you paint them in your head to be, that's what it is.
That's the way it comes out. I think, I mean, I think that works out great. It's just, whatever time you spend with it comes from it. But I think I want to go ahead and wrap us up now at this point. I think we've talked about insane stuff. We talked about Rocket League, talked about Among Us, talked about Minecraft, talked about our merch, and talked about what it was like to start a stream. This is kind of the basis you're going to see from this podcast is it is a stream of consciousness podcast. This is not highly structured or anything like that. We just want to talk about what we want to talk about as an escape from the pressures of streaming or making a YouTube video. This podcast is us. It's who we are. It's our honest opinions about stuff, and it's what we feel. Do you have any other words, Woodzy, before I wrap up the podcast itself?
No, I think you summed that up perfectly, to be honest. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I think we'll dive deeper into the differences between YouTube and Twitch in further podcasts as well. I was about to say streams. See, I'm just always in the streamer mindset.
See, you're in streamer mode.
Yeah, I'm always in streamer mode. But yeah, and that is exactly what it is. You hit the nail on the head, and there's not much else to say.
Yeah, we talk to each other outside of streaming, and we talk to each other outside of gaming, and we could talk for hours and hours and hours. And we don't get to make stuff that's just for us, I think. Like, all of our other stuff is kind of heavily focused on our community. And so it's nice to have, like, this time to do something like this, especially because it kind of forces us to hang out, which I like too, in a much more comfortable setting.
You're stuck with me.
In a much more comfortable setting, you know, not so much pressure, and just a good place for us to hang out. So if you want to check us out at all of our descriptions are down below. If you're on YouTube watching this podcast is last week's episode. If you want to watch this week's episode, head over to anywhere you watch podcasts, Beers and Bean podcast. Enjoy it. Check it out. As for this episode, this is our intro episode, so this does involve our introduction to the topic. So this episode may be a little bit longer, but the next ones come out. Yeah, the next ones come out will be maybe a little bit shorter, or maybe longer. Who knows? We'll see. We'll talk about on our Twitters what we're gonna bring up, and then again, like I said, if you guys want to reach out to us for topics, do that as well. And we'll start bringing in some sponsors in here, getting you guys to listen, subscribe to the podcast, and anybody who reviews with 5 stars on this podcast, you will have the ability to be presented on the podcast. We'll read your review out to everyone else. So you'll get chosen. Hit the review button, hit it with 5 stars right off the bat. First episode. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.